welcome. It is a Thursday night, which means this is a very special edition of The Regulars. I am Cody Decker.
I'm Tanya Ray Fox, and I am struggling through a head cold, but I'm going to be on my stuff today. I promise. It's not going to be weird. I'm definitely not going to fumble for my words.
But you know what the cure for a head cold is?
Wine?
Wine and bitching about sports, of which we have an abundance of both.
I have an abundance of that all the time.
Yes.
I don't know if it's the cure, if it's just what I do on a regular basis anyway, but I'll take it, honestly. It's not going to hurt.
Now, by the way, is there, before we get into the abundance of sports, let's start with something a little bit nice and get the good vibes going real quick, because we are drinking wine. It is a Thursday evening, and I just went to a place for the first time in my life. I've never been to Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
And I just went and spent the day in Joshua, just like one night in Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
And, dude, Joshua Tree might be my jam.
I'm not surprised that it's your jam. Like,
Yeah.
it does actually feel like your jam. I think that was like a nice little thing. You definitely needed it. You needed the getaway. I'm not a big be in the middle of nowhere with like no. I like being in the middle of nowhere, but there's got to be trees or mountains or a lake or something. The desert's
There
not
are
for me.
mountains and there are trees. They just are called Joshua trees,
Yeah.
and they are like, you know what they are?
Dead.
They're
Dead.
they're desert palms. They're
I know.
awesome.
I know.
I want one.
I think it's like the vibe of it. I get. Like, I get why it works for people. Why it's like meditative. But better you than me.
Okay.
That's kind of just how I feel about that. But I will say my mom is going to be really disappointed to hear that she's not going to like that I said she's going to be disappointed, because she doesn't want you to think that she wants bad things for you. But
Okay.
she's going to be disappointed to know that nothing went wrong with your reservations or anything, because she was like, maybe he'll believe in Mercury retrograde if something went wrong with the
Something
trip.
did go wrong. I booked the wrong day.
No way.
Yeah, because I wanted to go see the eclipse, and unfortunately, the eclipse was the night before, and it's okay because I did set my alarm at least to see the eclipse here in Santa Monica, and the marine layer had kicked in and it was overcast, so I didn't get to see a goddamn thing. And am I happy about these decisions? No. Was it a great week anyways?
That's all that
Yes,
matters.
I'm
So,
feeling all right.
Mercury retrograde didn't get you down, but it did affect you.
Oh no, it got me.
So there you go.
Oh no,
Right.
it got my ass.
So there you go.
Listen,
Andrea is vindicated, and it didn't have to ruin your trip, because she was like, I really want Cody to have a great time. I just want to know if anything came up that might make him believe.
No, everything turned out to be relatively okay. And listen, we are here to fight another day, and we got plenty of sports to actually go into.
We really do.
And actually, let's start with a really interesting topic, because I have a lot of, not necessarily opinions, just I have a lot of information.
You have information.
About this particular one.
That's why
And
I'm excited to talk to you
So
about
let's
this.
go to headline number 1 on the day, and that is the WNBA CBA negotiations are getting a little tense. And you know, Tanya, if you can take people through what the actual story is real
Sure.
quick, and understandable, the WNBA is having a moment. So this is either coming at terrible or fantastic time, depending on what your
well, we're going to decide that
perspective is.
by the end of this. We're going to have a full breakdown of it. Just for everybody's information, we are getting into the 11th hour, as Adam Silver said recently in February, regarding the ongoing CBA negotiations. The dates you want to keep in mind is that the players and teams are in agreement that everything should be in place by March 10th. For the season to begin is scheduled on May 8th. So we are in quite literally the final hours of this. Nearly every veteran player is a free agent, and the 2 expansion franchises in Toronto and Portland also have to draft teams. Like, a bunch still needs to be done.
Oh, yeah.
And this is those are like the basics of timeline-wise where we're at. The issues are arising around the normal stuff. We're talking about pay. We're talking about Revenue share. You know, obviously they signed this massive new TV deal.
Yes.
And Brianna Stewart and Kelsey Plum are kind of heading this for the WNBA.
Yeah, they are part of the 7-player committee specifically.
Right. And so the same day that Stewie told reporters, Brianna Stewart, both are not ready to be voted on because both need to be negotiated either up or down or in a number of ways regarding those two things. That same day, it was reported that Plum and Stewart sent a letter to Union Executive Director Terry Jackson expressing their serious concerns about how the PA is handling the current negotiations and frustration with what they believed was a breakdown in communication between you, who they were Terry Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
and the executive committee and members and players more broadly.
Yes. So I will admit this letter that has come out is not a good look on the Players Association, to say the least.
Right.
But this is a unique situation specifically for women's basketball because the CBA, and again, I already framed it this way, but I'll say it's either coming at the greatest or worst possible time, depending on your
explain
perspective.
what you mean by that.
And I'm thinking that perspective is either coming from the players at the top. It's coming at the best possible time. If you're the Brianna Stewarts, if you're the Kelsey Plums of the world, absolutely coming at a great time. But if you're not those players, say you're the bottom tier or middle tier players that are really banking on $120,000 that you do need, I can absolutely understand you having a little bit more cold feet, considering the fact that there is not a lot of places to fall back on. The Unrivaled League, not exactly bringing in those particular players. So can this union kind of stomach what is coming forward if they don't reach an agreement? I don't know. And the reason why I don't know is not because I don't think the women have a case, because they do. I'll get into all. This is kind of a double-edged sword situation right now. But I'm leaning towards the players to get as much as they possibly can. This is going to be very interesting because here's what they have going for them. Period. Stop. They have the fact that the WNBA is hitting a boom. Whether you want to agree that it's the Caitlin Clark boom or not the Caitlin Clark boom or just the WNBA boom.
It's certainly coincided with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese specifically coming into
Specifically, it is definitely playing a part in this. Caitlin Clark specifically, I would actually say even more than Angel Reese. And I think Angel Reese is definitely playing her part as much as anybody else.
Yeah.
But this boom is definitely taking place. And rising tide, I think, is lifting all ships. Everyone, all the way to the other stars of the league of the Brianna Stewarts and the Kelsey Plums. And
Asia Wilson,
every single one of them. And now the stock in college players is going up as well. And the upcoming drafts. Here's another good thing. The league is making money. The viewership has gone through the roof in comparison to what it was in the past. Attendance has gone up very much so. So, yes, this is now making money. New television deal that you just mentioned. Those are another things going in the players' favor. This is a big one. Expansion. We got 2 new teams joining this league.
Who haven't drafted.
And haven't even drafted a single player. You're telling me, so we're going to go, and these are billion-dollar, enterprises are going to start their enterprises in 2 new cities in this league with a player lockout or a player strike of some kind. That's a problem and a bad look. So these are real things. Unique situations. Not to mention on top of that, the ESPN deal specifically for Sunday night for women's sports. That's a big deal that they can have and leverage. Now, here are the bad things. I already mentioned the lower tier players. Can they actually go without getting paid? They don't exactly have a huge bankroll to keep all those players afloat.
Sure.
So there's a real issue there. Will some players cross a picket line? I could see that happening. However, will they be steadfast? I think they're going to reach a deal, and I think it's going to be beneficial no matter what.
Yeah.
I will also admit that letter does not make the players look good. I don't think it's any sort of death nail, but these are things that are often fought in the court of public opinion. So anything that just makes them look weak, somebody will pounce on. Now, I think they're going to be fine, and I think that we're about to see the largest jump in pay in the history of women's sports. But here's what the women really need to fight on, as far as I'm concerned. No matter what. This is really, I think, coming down to the revenue sharing plan.
Okay.
The net or the gross. The players want the gross. The owners want the net. Of course they want the net. There's a lot of ways to hide money and inflate numbers in certain spots. So here's the deal. If you're the Players Association, okay, net it is. Open your books to us. We need to see all your finances at all times. You go full transparency, you got a deal.
Yeah, that's never happening.
They going to open their books?
No.
All right, then give us the gross and we'll call it a day.
The NBA has never opened their books. The NBA does not open their books. The reason that, there's this whole thing that happens every time there are negotiations in the NBA specifically where there are a lot of all of a sudden teams start claiming that they're losing money. And that's a tactic that the NBA has used repeatedly, and then the WNBA has used, that they claim that they're losing money. A lot of times they are. But a lot of, in between, it'll be, oh, we're doing well, we're thriving, whatever else, all of a sudden they're losing money. Now, they have steadily been profitable by and large since the mid to late 1980s, the NBA in a general institutional. But as far as like opening their books and us ever, we've never seen it. We don't see it. We will never see it. That is simply that's part of the confusion around people not understanding that the NBA is not nearly as profitable as they think, right? Like there's so much of these conversations around the WNBA being like, well, how much money are they making? This loses money. They lose money. Like NBA teams are constantly reporting losses, whether they're real or not. The same thing's happening in the WNBA. The books aren't getting opened. On the front of the players themselves and the solidarity among the higher earners or the bigger stars and lower tier players. The thing I do think that goes in the WNBA's benefit is that, number one, this is a smaller league with fewer players to represent, right? So the likelihood that you're going to have these lower tier players who are going to, scab or, whatever else, like it's just like that's less likely to happen.
It is very less likely,
right?
To
and then, there's also just, there's a lot of solidarity in the WNBA among these players. They generally have each other's back because you're talking about a league that's been under fire, and that is like finally getting the attention it deserves. And so these women, even though no, they're athletes, they don't all get along. They're not all BFF. It's girl time, but there is a general sense of solidarity among them, especially because the players themselves that are in charge of this are fighting for a solid paycheck for the lower tier players. It's not like they're good. It's not like one of those situations where they're just looking for their bag.
No, of course.
Because obviously Kelsey Plum, Brianna Stewart, Asia Wilson, these people are going to get paid as in terms of whatever the max is. Brianna Stewart's making it. You know what I mean? And the other thing that I find fascinating is, as of right now, no one's come anywhere near $1 million a year in the WNBA, which is, by the way, absolutely insane. Because back I think it was the 1970s, late 1970s, when players started making $1 million a year in the NBA, long before they were profitable, when that league was in the dirt. And the way that they kept the league relevant was by paying their star players a bunch of money. By like 1990, there were players making, $10, $12 million a year, and it just has gone up crazy, right? Well, we know that the highest paid player, why do I keep saying played? Highest paid player in the NWSL, the Women's Soccer League, is Trinity Rodman, who's going to be making $1 million a year.
Yes.
If Trinity Rodman's making $1 million a year, which she absolutely should, she's the biggest soccer star in the country right now, then the stars of the WNBA, like I'm taking that number and saying, listen, if the NWSL can pay their star $1 million a year. Now, granted, there's fewer players who are going to get that, but I mean, we're talking about massive jumps. And to your point, that's a huge leap. Some of these star players are going to go from making the league maximum of like $100,000 a year, whatever the hell it's been, to 10, 12, potentially 20 times that, which is insane. And as far as leverage, I don't think, based on everything we just talked about, even what you said with some of the pitfalls, I don't think I've seen a league with this much leverage, a set of players in a league with this much leverage.
No, I agree.
Because they have no time to spare, and these players have all of the incentive to, there is nobody in the league right now who's on a contract that they're worried they're going to lose, or that it's all upward mobility for everybody in the league. Usually in a CBA situation, you're talking about some players it's going to hurt. Some players contractually, they're going to take a dip. Some players are getting, to your point, in the NFL, NBA, MLB, wildly outrank and outpaid compared to the league minimums in the league. That's not the case here.
No. But here's the other thing that I think is oh my goodness, did I just lose my train of thought?
I told you it's gonna be one of those, dude.
No, I just had it. I had something great for you. I really did.
And I believe you. I really do.
I was gonna blow your mind.
I know.
I was gonna absolutely blow
It's gonna come to you in the middle of 3
it
seconds.
really
from now.
will.
And you know what? If you need to spout it out, you can.
I'm going to. You kidding me? We're gonna come back to the WNBA clearly because. Listen, it's a very unique situation. I agree with the players are never going to have, well, at least to this point. Oh, I remember my point.
Hell yes.
It's very simple. At the end of the day, like I mentioned already, we have 2 expansion teams, right? If the league was losing money, why would it be expanding?
Yeah.
Right now, every every hedge fund in the world is trying to buy a WNBA team right now because there is it's an investment to something that is currently going through a boom. Anything. It's like the stock market. All of this is just gambling at high stakes.
I wish people would understand how often every single one of these corporate entities, whether it's a sports team, a sports league, a corporation, whatever, they're always lying to you.
Yeah.
They always have way more money to spend, to pay, and at the end of the day, labor is what you decide. They want the players to believe that they decide what the players are worth. The reality is all labor, and I wish everybody in every industry understood this. You are not worth what a company says you're worth. You're worth what you're actually worth to a company. There is a number on that. There is a number of your labor that is a set value you provide to the company, and they are never paying it. They're never even coming close to paying you that.
I agree.
Ever
Never will.
in any industry, whether you are a McDonald's, cashier, or whether you are a WNBA player. They're never fucking paying you that. I mean, you could make a case that Shohei Ohtani is underpaid.
You
for
could.
the value that he
you
brings to the MLB.
absolutely could.
That is, and I'm not being hyperbolic. So in every single union conversation with a corporate entity in any position, you are fighting this uphill battle of public perception that you owe a corporation or this entity some level of profit, a certain amount of profit that they need, that they have to be allowed to make. And the fact of the matter is, the profit that you make is what is left over to accurately and pay the workforce that you have.
No, agreed. The only difference is WNBA players have a little bit more leverage than average workers.
I really think they do.
They do. They absolutely do, and I hope they absolutely.
Well, they have more.
stick their guns.
They have more leverage because they have a legitimately core union, which we've always talked about. This sports are such an excellent representation of how important unions are.
Yes, absolutely
Like
is.
they're some of the most powerful unions in the country.
And this is arguably this is absolutely the most consequential CBA they've ever had in the WNBA. And I'm not saying that as hyperbole either.
Yeah.
Just like in Major League Baseball, this upcoming CBA in Major League Baseball
Yeah.
is unquestionably the most important CBA in the history of Major League Baseball.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, we've talked about it, that the idea of a salary cap in baseball, all these things that are coming along, like I'm looking forward to having those discussions too when the
We
time
will
comes.
be having them.
Oh, I know.
Oh, I got thoughts.
I know,
Do
you
I
do.
have thoughts? Well, let's go over to headline number 2
Yeah.
because go ahead, celebrate, tap dance on all of our goddamn graves. I'm
Jason
not.
Tatum will return for the Celtics on Friday.
Great.
And this is news, by the way, that was not reported, was not scooped. Shams didn't get it.
No.
He didn't get the scoop. This is where you really miss Woj. Woj would have never let this happen. This was discovered because the Celtics kept it so quiet that it was put out on the injury report. Like that's insane. That's insane that like the Jason Tatum returning after all this time.
We did have, wasn't it Bill Simmons that said it was possibly going to happen and we all started speculating?
People have been speculating for months. I mean,
But was specifically speculated this Friday at one point.
Well, they've speculated every game for the past 2 weeks.
Fair.
I'm not giving Simmons any credit only because this has literally been, it was like starting at the beginning of, it was like the middle of February when they were playing the Nets. It's been a minute that people keep thinking it's happening, but it's finally out there. Shams did not get the scoop, and there are a few interesting talking points that are coming out of Jason Tatum's return.
Let's hear it.
I'll get your opinion on it first, and then I'll weigh in on mine, because who wants to hear the Celtics fans' opinion first? Absolutely not. The main conversations that are being had is how much of a difference is so there's a massive difference in the team that Jason Tatum's coming back to. This is not the team that he left last season, the team that won a title the year before. It's completely different. It's really just Derek White and Jaylen Brown from the core, and Peyton Pritchard. And then it's a rest of young guys, the guys they've brought in that they've kind of put together. It's a classic Brad Stevens get Joe Mazzulla, get them to play together, working, and Jaylen Brown stepped up to play at an MVP level. So does Jason Tatum throw off the rhythm of this team? A lot of people saying this. A lot of people are saying it.
Okay.
Sorry. How could and do you actually think this is going to like impact the team? Are they going to get better? Because these are the main conversations. I want to get your opinion, and then we're going to talk about an opinion that I do find to be absolutely absurd.
Well, they're not going to be worse because they're adding Jason Tatum. What are we talking about? Are we kidding? Yeah, it'll affect some of the young guys' minutes that are getting in
Sure.
there. But I do know that White's minutes are exactly the same as they were without Jason Tatum. So, yeah, his points are up. And, yeah, Peyton Pritchard's points are up. He's Jason Tatum. Yes, I'll take an 80% Jason Tatum over the rest of the team. And, by the way, does he need to delegate more to Jaylen Brown? That's really up for a coach that I do actually trust in Joe Mazzulla to decide. This was supposed to be a gap year for the Celtics.
Yeah.
We're playing with house money, and you're getting Jason Tatum back in time. Well, not just in time for the playoffs, but enough time to see if you need to work things around
Right.
differently with Jason Tatum. This is house money. They're second in the East right now. I don't think it would matter if they went in seventh in the East. They could probably lose a couple of games and give a few up to figure out a new system. Anybody that's saying this is a bad thing, what the fuck are you talking about?
I've never in my life, I've been trying to stay calm. I've never in my life seen a player who is universally considered a top 10, if not top 5 player in the league, have this conversation around, do you think the Celtics are better off without him? This is fucking stupidity. It's actually so fucking embarrassing. The way
who are these people?
the way people talk about the Celtics, it's like they're, and we're gonna kind of hit on this later on in the show. This like homerism, this inability to just be like, I understand you don't like the Celtics. That's okay. You're not supposed to like the Celtics. You cannot start saying shit like, do you think one of the best players in the league coming back to his team is going to help the fucking team? You cannot fucking say that in all dead serious, all good conscience say that. That is so fucking dumb. People are so weird about Jason Tatum. This guy does nothing but like just be a good dad, ball out, be a little corny sometimes on a mic. He does nothing wrong and people fucking hate him. It's wild for this to be a conversation. No one would ever say this about Anthony Edwards. They would never say this about they won't even say this about Tyrese Halliburton.
Dude, I don't get it. I really don't get it. Listen.
Well, if you thought I was mad,
You're not going to be worse because you have Jason Tatum. I don't get it. Congratulations, you're getting back Jason Tatum.
Well, Jaylen Brown's playing at an MVP level. Okay, that's great. You want to know who Jaylen Brown's played his entire career with? Jason Tatum. He'll be fine. Why do we every year, everybody asks, like, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown just discovered each other.
Yeah.
Like, they are literally quite close. They are good at playing basketball together. Nobody did this with Steph and Clay.
Didn't they win a title 2 years ago?
They certainly did. They've also been in they have been in like 16 Eastern Conference championship games, and they've only been in the league for 10. This is insanity. So here's the take that really pissed me right off. And by the way, if you wonder why I mean, listen, I'm already kind of a Carmelo Anthony truther. People who say Carmelo is one of the greats, already a truth. I don't know about that.
I think he's one of the
Not so much, exactly. So let's just go through this take.
Okay, I'm listening.
Carmelo Anthony says Jason Tatum needs to be very mature when he returns, knowing it's Jaylen Brown's team this season. For so long, JB has sacrificed everything. Now it's like, JT, what are you going to sacrifice? But now I held the fort down for you and the whole organization. JT has to be very mature about this situation. It's no ego, no pride. We got a chance to come back and win a championship. So let me just put my pride and ego aside for the next 3 months and continue to let JB steer the ship.
What? Wait, question. Is Carmelo Anthony saying there's some sort of drama of Jason Tatum coming back and this is going to upset Jaylen? What the fuck is happening?
What's happening is that he is, like, this whole idea is that every single time one player or the other is playing well, the other one is somehow either sacrificing in order for that to happen.
Okay.
Or as if did we not watch LeBron and Dwayne Wade play together? Did we not watch Klay Thompson and Steph Curry play together? Did we not watch Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant play together? Have we not watched two good players play together? Why the fuck are these two always the ones who are being pitted against each other when Jason Tatum's never played a single minute on the Celtics without Jaylen Brown also being on the team. He built himself into a superstar, into an MVP contender every year while playing with Jaylen Brown. This is not a problem, nor is it a problem for Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown is an MVP candidate because Jason Tatum was not there. He would not be one without Jason Tatum not being there. If he is uncomfortable with that reality, then he's stupider than I think he is. And I don't think he's stupid. I think he's an incredibly smart guy. They both understand the situation. They've always understood it. They have been, by the way, to Eastern Conference championships with Kyrie Irving. Multiple iterations of this team. The two of them are the core.
Yeah.
How do you get to Jason Tatum has to sacrifice so JB can be great when he's never been a ball, like he's not Kobe?
You know why? The reason why is because what is this reminding you of? I'll tell you what it's reminding me of. It just sounds like it's Jordan and Pippen. And he's like, oh, well, this is Pippen's chance to be the guy. Jordan's coming back for the first time. Like, enough. Just, they're both very good together. Yeah. It doesn't have to be one or the other. They're like presetting this pitting thing.
Did Pippen and Jordan, I don't remember this because I just like wasn't locked into basketball at the time. Did they get along? No one got along with Jordan though, right?
They got along fine.
Did they? Yeah.
Yes. This is just nonsense.
Yeah.
It's just, it's just nonsense. Yeah. We're creating a narrative that I don't think exists. And we're creating a drama that it doesn't exist.
By the way, Jaylen Brown won the finals MVP. They did the same shit. They were like, oh, Jason Tatum must be so mad. He must be so mad.
I think he's fine.
He was fine. They were so hugging each other. Everybody was fine. Jaylen Brown won finals MVP. By the way, Jason Tatum, the whole playoffs, led them in points, assists, and rebounds. They gave the finals MVP to Jaylen Brown. It's neither here nor there. But this has been a weird narrative the entire time. And it never becomes a thing. It never turns out to be anything they have been doing this for nearly a decade. I truly don't understand why this, like, it's almost like people want it to happen. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like there's like a enviousness or something of like their ability to kind of work with each other and not have.
We see it all the time.
But
this
then
was created in 1961 in New York between Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle, who were friends.
And they're like guys
and teammates,
and doing a bunch of other stuff off the
like they had no problem.
And it's funny because when the other side, when the reverse happens, right? When Kyrie Irving and James Harden can't play together, mm-hmm. or when Russell Westbrook and the gang, Kevin Durant broke up, it's like, oh, they can't play together. They can't just sacrifice themselves for the team. Jason Tatum's been doing it the whole time. He's been doing what you wanted the whole time. The whole time he has been playing side by side with Jaylen Brown as a 1A player, mm-hmm. and you've not heard one single bad thing out of there. And every single time there are two players who don't seem to be able to get on the same page that are of superstar caliber, everybody says, why can't they just They're doing it. They've been doing it.
I think they're going to be fine.
Oh, they're going to be fine.
They're going to be fine.
I mean, I think they're going to win a title this year? No, I don't. But damn.
I think they're going to be fine, though.
Sure. I mean, the East is not exactly crushing it.
I think they're going to be fine.
Do you think they're going to go to the finals?
There's a chance they're going to be fine.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're Boston pilled where it's like you get to the point where you don't even want to think that they're not going to win, so you just prepare yourself for it and then you get excited when they lose,
They're going to be fine.
I've seen this coping mechanism many times.
They're going to be fine.
All right, well, let's go to a different dynasty. The blockbuster trade of the NFL offseason thus far, one of them. The Chiefs sent their all-pro cornerback Trent McDuffie to the Rams, one of the best cornerbacks in the league, if not the best. And the trade, the Chiefs will receive a 2026 5th and 6th round pick and a 2027 3rd round pick.
They also get one of their first picks this year, too.
The 29th overall.
I believe the Rams also have the 17th pick as well.
Yes. So they got their 4 draft picks overall. Mm-hmm. Did they get the 17th as well? No, the Rams.
I thought it was only one of them.
Let me make sure I got this right. I don't want to tell you guys the wrong thing. See, this is where the lightheadedness is coming.
No, it's okay. What I understood it to be was they got
29th overall selection in 2026, and then as part of the trade, the Chiefs will receive so that's what they're receiving from the Rams.
Yes.
Okay, right.
So the Rams gave up one of their first round picks. They still have another one, I believe. I believe they have the 17th pick as well.
Okay.
This is a very good trade for the Rams. I mean, to say the least. McDuffie's been one of the best cornerbacks in the league for a couple of years, and that has been their biggest problem, the quarterback situation and safety situation for the Rams. So I think this is a very phenomenal pickup. My question for you is the grander scheme, because there is other very sexy potential trades that are out there
Sure.
that the Rams are tied to.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm looking over because I'm not just because I'm a Raider fan, because I have a lot of intrigue in this. Max Crosby.
Yeah.
The Raiders are demanding 2 first-round picks
Yeah.
for Max Crosby. And a couple of weeks ago, I scoffed at that, thinking, no,
Yeah.
they're not going to get 2, maybe 1, maybe a couple of maybe 2 second-round picks. But no, they're steadfast 2 first-round picks, and they want an active player. And if you believe reports, they had a deal borderline kind of done with the Cowboys. And you heard Jerry Jones kind of like talking about a week
Sure.
ago, we're opening up the checkbook. We're going to open up the checkbook this year. We're going to hear some things. You're going to see some real good things coming from us this
We're
year.
going to be in the Super Bowl.
Oh, we're gonna be like we were in the past, back before I was
I
even
love the
involved.
way Jerry Jones says Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna be back in the Super Bowl. Lamb man. Anyways, he's it seemed like, okay, they're working on something. So Max Crosby is one of the names that came up. And Max Crosby is a guy that would fit over there.
Sure.
Granted, I've made fun of the move because they just essentially are swapping Micah for Max.
Which is not a...
with arguably the same picks they got
That's
for
a downgrade.
Micah.
As good as Max Crosby is, it's a
It
downgrade.
is,
Yeah.
which is why I think it's
Yeah.
funny and dumb.
Yeah.
But listen, that's almost like Jerry saying, yeah, we might have messed up a tick.
Oops.
But here's the deal. Like, now it seems like that might not be happening. And
Right.
now the Rams were a team that was in for Max Crosby as well. McDuffie, phenomenal pickup. Imagine a world where you have McDuffie as a cornerback and they still get it together enough, maybe get that 17 to the Raiders and more, and get their hands on Max
The
Crosby.
Rams do this. That they're the one team, and I am saying the one team.
I don't know how they do
People are going to
this.
say the Eagles. They're going to. It's not the way that the Rams use their picks to trade for players, to sign free agents, all that stuff. Their picks and their money is bizarre. It's like nothing I've ever seen. Les Snead is a genius, an evil genius, unless you're a Rams fan, in which case he's a hero.
Mm-hmm.
But I would not be. I have done. I think I spent maybe 4 or 5 off seasons being like, the Rams can't possibly have any more draft capital. They can't possibly have any more
Yes,
money.
somehow
I don't
they
know
do.
And like they got rid of every pick for like 5 years,
And they're
somehow-
still doing it. They don't.
they're
They do
still-
not like picks. They just like
but
active guys.
So smart, and they've just done such a good job that I won't say anything that is impossible when it comes to them pulling this off. I don't think they need Max Crosby. I think that's the bigger thing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people looked at their pass rush from last season and were underwhelmed. However, it was much better. Their defense, and especially their defensive line and their pass rush, was much better in the playoffs. It really elevated, which is kind of a classic good team thing, right? Like a lot of good teams have these units really gel right before and into the playoffs. And you look at the regular season and you're like, oh, well, they were like, 29th and DVOA. And you're like, it just looked totally different once you
It
got to the
absolutely
playoffs.
did, but I'm also looking at the big picture here. Like, congratulations to Max Stafford. And I think I'm not sure if I said this to you, but he owes that entire defense like a steak dinner
Yeah.
or cars. That defense,
Yeah.
because they couldn't stop anything, got Matt Stafford his MVP because he had to
In the
score
regular
50 points
season,
again.
right? And then in the postseason, they were like, "We got your back now. Actually, we're gonna just start doing this." And so I don't know that they necessarily need. They also are so good at developing players. That's another thing. So unless they really feel like they are, if you trade for Max Crosby in this offseason,
Yeah.
you're doing it because you think you can win the Super Bowl next year,
Yes.
which I do think that they think, because Matthew Stafford is coming back. You wouldn't be bringing back Matthew Stafford unless you thought that he still had one more run in him. You wouldn't be trading for Trent McDuffie unless you thought that they still had one more run in them. But do you need to bring in Max Crosby when there are other pass rushers that are also available that also might do the job for less money, less picks, because there are other guys that are available. The other part of this, on the flip side of this, on the other side of this trade, is the Chiefs are entering a really specific era of the Mahomes-Reed pairing that is the sort of soft rebuild.
Yeah.
When you get rid of Trent McDuffie and, Travis Kelce is basically done.
Yeah, it's over.
Andy Reid is approaching 70, and this team has good pieces. They just traded one of them away. So they're accumulating draft picks to get younger, faster, all those things. This is the first real soft rebuild we've seen from them. People keep talking about the Tyreek Hill trade as if it's similar because they got a haul for Tyreek.
Yeah.
That team was in a different position. Like they were in the middle of Super Bowl runs. Last year they won 6 games. Like I don't think do we remember that like the Chiefs were bad?
We do. Oh, I do.
So the Chiefs, can they pull a Patriots and stay on top of the AFC with a soft rebuild, get themselves back into the playoffs, maybe make a divisional AFC championship game, and then start another run here? Or do you think that this might be a sign that is this a part of the Chiefs story where we're going to look back and be like, yeah, that's where they were cooked?
I'm going to give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt and hear me out on why.
Yeah, of course.
One, Patrick Mahomes did get hurt before he went on his storybook Patrick Mahomes run like he would always do at the end of every year, where especially the previous couple of years where they kind of just
Last season?
No, last season. Patrick Mahomes got hurt. Now they were
for 2 games.
It was out enough.
It was 2 games.
But we would watch this before in the past with the Chiefs, where they would kind of lull, and then just go on a tear at the end and then take it all the way through the playoffs.
But that didn't happen last year.
It did not.
Yeah.
And part of that was Patrick Mahomes getting hurt as well.
No, it wasn't.
And it was also them also not being that good. Listen, I'm going to give him a mild benefit of the doubt because I believed this, and you as somebody from New England can understand.
Yeah.
I thought I was watching this with the Patriots 2 separate times.
But did you ever watch the Patriots miss the playoffs?
No, but that Matt Castle year did happen, and
They won 11 games.
I know, but I still remember it. I just felt different. It didn't feel like the Patriots were coming to town with Matt Castle. It was not the same to me.
Right, but we're talking about a team. So I'm not trying to be argumentative. I do genuinely, I want us to be clear. We're talking about a team that won 6 games with Patrick Mahomes.
I agree, but also was injured for the last couple games of the year. How many games did he miss that year? I thought it was like
Mahomes
4.
Missed 2 games last.
You sure?
I mean, let's do a double check.
Double check. I thought it was closer to 4 to 5, but I might be wrong. That game that he got knocked out in was like the deciding game. I think that would cost them the playoffs.
They were never in the. They weren't making the playoffs.
I just always assumed they were going to get there.
I'm not like a Chiefs hater. I'm actually a Chiefs
I don't like the Chiefs at all, but I'm also realistic about this.
I'm not one of those people who
they're a Frankenstein thing that always keep coming back to kill you.
100%. Patrick Mahomes started 14 games last season.
Okay, so he missed 3 games.
Here we go. Hold on. Let's see what weeks he missed. We can do this. We got this. So he was out for the last 3 weeks.
Okay, last 3 weeks, and he got hurt in that game halfway through that game.
And they were 6-8 when he got hurt.
I'm not saying. Listen, I'm just saying they could have gotten to 9 wins.
Okay, right.
That's all I'm saying. They could have gotten to 9 wins.
They'd lost 3 in a row.
I didn't say they were good. I was thrilled last year.
They'd lost 3 in a row when he went out. I mean, they were not making the playoffs.
No, they were not. They were dog shit.
So I guess my point is that this is a team that with the dynasty head coach, with the dynasty quarterback, and by the way, he missed at least the last game because the season was over. They weren't. It's not that it was like a horrific injury he couldn't come back from. The season was over. They're not going to put him back in there.
I agree.
Fair. It was a lost season with. I mean, the Patriots and Tom Brady in their prime never had a lost season. It just never happened.
We'll see next year. How about that?
Yeah, no, and I think that's what I'm saying is was that a fluke or do you, and you have to be honest with yourself, do you see a nearly 70-year-old Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes getting back to the Super Bowl in the next couple of years?
I want to say no.
But you're afraid to.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand.
That is it. I want to say absolutely not. But I also know the division that they're in. I did not think the Broncos were going to do what they did last season. Can they do that again? Truthfully, I don't know.
I think the Broncos in this current iteration will be good. 14 wins, no. That's crazy.
Right. Will the Raiders still be hovering around 3 wins? I don't know. I don't fucking know right now about what the AFC West is right now.
Yeah.
To me, it is the biggest question mark.
You can always write the Chargers
I know the Chargers will sneak into the playoffs and then lose immediately. I don't care about that.
Sure.
The other teams is just the fact I really do not know what these three teams are going to be next year.
Yeah.
I have no clue right now. I'm being realistic. I definitely want to say the Chiefs are going to be taking a massive step back. But does that mean the Raiders take a step forward, or do they stand pat? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the Raiders
really
would have
don't.
to have the Raiders are gonna be at the bottom of the division, if only because they have a brand new head coach and a rookie quarterback.
It's a whole new
it
start
doesn't-
for them.
Maybe they're the third in the division.
Maybe.
They could absolutely, we've seen rookie quarterbacks come in and do well. Generally not with a first-year head coach, same year, whatever, but it happens.
I just watched your Patriots go from what they were to the Super Bowl this
but
last
not with
year.
not with a first-time head coach and not with a first-time quarterback. He
But
was
a
second
new,
year.
but a first-year head coach with this team.
Sure. I mean, had such a.
I'm
had
not
a
saying
pre-existing
I'm not
relationship
saying
with
my
half the
argument
people
doesn't
in
have
the
flaws.
building.
I'm not saying my argument. I'm saying my
Yeah.
argument is very surface level.
I think that in my book, the best version of the Raiders next year is a closing in on 500 team with Mendoza.
That would be amazing
Right.
if that happens.
And I think that would be a massive improvement,
Huge.
and it would be a great sign.
Completely.
It would be very similar to the progress that we see with most rookie quarterbacks.
My point is, I just do not. I cannot put money on the AFC West. I could not tell somebody to put money on the. I do not know. It's the one division in
think-
all the
listen,
NFL that I'm like, this is just throw a pin and see what it lands on.
I think it's more that I think Patrick Mahomes, as long as he's playing in the NFL, is going to be a guy who's making the playoffs most of the time.
I would agree with
I'm
that.
not I don't think all of a sudden
He's
a
a
six-win
difference
guy.
type
I'm
of maker.
Yeah,
I
of course.
agree.
He's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. The man's
Completely
been to
agree.
5 Super Bowls, has 3 rings. Come on, he's insane. And I've watched him, like you said, come back from the dead, play on rolled ankles, sprained knees. I mean, the dude's a badass. He does for all of the credit we give Matthew Stafford and these other big dudes who take hard hits. Patrick Mahomes has played through some gutsy ass situations.
Can't stress enough.
I've
I've had the misfortune of having to experience it.
I have no issue with thinking Patrick Mahomes is going to. I just think we have gotten to a point where we have forgotten how fucking hard it is to make a Super Bowl, and the 5 Super Bowls and 3 wins, and everybody's like, well, okay, we're on the Brady Belichick track, and they're going to be back, and they're going to. But that was not supposed to happen. That
No,
second
it's all
dynasty was
insane.
never supposed to happen.
It's insane that this
And
ever happened the
so-
first time.
Right. So I think that
We've been conditioned as fans by that
Right.
absurd
To think it
anomaly.
could happen again.
Yeah, but that's also because the NFL. I mean, and by the way, this is not saying, but the Major League Baseball the World Series has been going on since the end of the
Right.
1800s. We just had Super Bowl what number?
60.
Exactly. So we have a 60-year window here. It's just a little difference because of the time and
Right.
and all of we have short-term memories. All we know is the Patriot. Your city has 2 generations that only know the Patriots as winners.
Right.
The generation before that only know the Patriots as the biggest fucking losers in the NFL ever had.
I know. What can I tell you? But it is. The idea. The whole second Patriots dynasty was because Brady was so absurdly healthy. The idea that Patrick Mahomes is going to stay that healthy is tough, just because of the way he plays, and he does not. I mean, Brady was a sociopath about his body.
Yes.
Patrick Mahomes is a hard worker.
But they're different quarterbacks also. How
different
much can the
quarterbacks.
physical attributes of Patrick Mahomes last up?
And I
is my
actually do
question.
think Patrick Mahomes can do some of the things that Brady did to improve.
No, I agree, but Patrick Mahomes also uses his legs in a certain way, runs a little bit more, could take a little bit more hits because of that.
And he does Patrick Mahomes will throw a pick and tackle somebody. He does not get enough credit for some of the stuff that he
agree.
does. The bigger issue is is Patrick Mahomes without Andy Reid for another 10 years?
I
And
do not know.
We might have to find out. I'm actually willing to go on the record and say I would not be surprised if Patrick Mahomes made it back to another Super Bowl.
Me neither.
I would be surprised if he made it back to more than one.
Me neither.
No, I would be surprised.
Oh,
if
you
he-
would?
Yeah.
Well, I
think-
don't know.
Yeah. I'm not claiming to be Nostradamus, but
I know.
this is what we do.
No, I agree.
Right?
My point is
So-
this particular situation is
Yeah.
a full-on I don't know
Yeah.
because I have a recency bias with the Patriots showing me that it is very possible.
Yeah.
And if I'm talking talent level, if we're just talking talent, forget about all of the psychosis
Sure.
behind everything, forget about just talent level, we agree Patrick Mahomes is more talented than Tom Brady, correct? Just physical attributes and what he can do on a field. Can we agree to that?
Sure, yeah.
Not that
Like
he's
Aaron
a better quarterback,
Rodgers,
but just talent
yeah,
level.
this was always the conversation around him and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, this is not. This is not.
Yeah.
Tom Brady is maybe the greatest of all time. It probably is.
Yeah.
But we're just talking.
Maybe.
I don't fucking know.
Maybe.
We're
probably
talking. But if we're
is.
just talking physical talent and what they can physically do on the field, would we agree
If
that
you're talking running,
Yes.
moving side to side, arm,
yeah.
sure.
Okay, that's all. I just don't know. The truth is, we'll see. But here's the good news. We're going to see. Because of that recency bias with the Patriots, it makes me go, I know it's possible. And this guy has more talent than Tom Brady did.
But okay, see, that's why I always
But
get a
I
little.
don't
I always
know.
pull back a little bit when people do the talent thing because you're talking about he's better. He's a physical.
I threw air quotes up there because I'm telling that these are just there's
But that's only-
non-quantifiable
he doesn't
things
have-
that Tom Brady
He
did.
doesn't have the pocket movement, right? He doesn't have the pocket presence.
You're right.
He doesn't have the ability to go to
You're
to
right.
read the defense the same way. He doesn't have the same sort of fucking.
And there's
like,
also intangibles that we can't quantify.
well, there's tangibles, right?
There are.
Brady was had the greatest pocket presence in the history of. I mean, people think it's Peyton Manning. It wasn't. It was insane what he could do. There's all these different things. So it's like if you count that as physicality or talent, you have to count that, right? Like whatever. But the bigger problem is that Brady got better as he got older.
Yeah.
Is Patrick Mahomes going to get better as he gets older? If he does, then we know what's going. If Patrick Mahomes hits 35 and his arm's getting better, which is what fucking happened with that sociopathic whatever the hell cyborg Tom Brady is, then great. I've just not seen it from anybody else. So I
Me
guess we'll see.
neither.
Yeah.
But there's a recency bias of Tom Brady. So I'm thinking, is it possible? Yes. Will it happen? I don't fucking know. But I'm interested.
I mean,
and
there's a
I
recency
wouldn't.
bias with LeBron James too. I still don't think anybody's getting to his numbers anytime soon.
I would agree with that as well.
Yeah.
But these are, but I don't know. And I'm interested to find out. We're going to find out. Really, if Patrick Mahomes has that fortitude, we're about to honestly.
This season will be fascinating,
Let me
specifically
put it
for
this way:
this.
we're
Yeah.
about to find out if Patrick Mahomes is a complete psychopath. The only way he does this is if he's a complete psychopath.
If he goes on another dynasty run.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I will if we have another psychopath, if we have another like Tom Brady level psychopath, great. Like
I won't be
honestly,
mad.
I'm fine with it.
Me too.
Like I love a league with a true sociopath who will not stop playing and not stop winning. I think it's good for these leagues and these games. Did I absolutely despise watching the Chiefs in the Super Bowl every single year? Of course I did. But come on. It's
I
kind of
agree.
sick, right?
I agree.
And I know somebody who does want to see. I know someone who does want to see.
Hey, it's time for
Patrick
Media
Mahomes.
Corner.
We have one big ass media corner for you today. And it's actually centered around Patrick Mahomes' biggest fan, perhaps, or at least his most notorious one. Cody, I have one question for you.
Yes.
Have we let homerism go a little too far in sports media? And I'm going to present a specific example to you. This is not the only example, but it is sort of making the point.
Yes.
For a long time, everyone in sports media was expected to at least pretend they didn't have favorite teams or
Yes.
didn't root for certain, teams, players, whatever. And that was fucking absurd.
Yes.
None of us are in sports media because we don't love sports. We all fell in love with sports, sports teams, sports cities as children, grew up, and that is what we do. We don't have to pretend we don't like sports. We can actually go into situations and be unbiased enough, right?
These
I
are
had a
all
whole
true things.
conversation about the Patriots, about, we can have these conversations. However, has the pendulum swung too far the other way where now we are getting into a situation where people are leaning into the bit of their fandom so hard that they undermine their own credibility? And the example we're going to bring up for you right now, if you want to bring that up, Mocha, is this tweet from Nick Wright today in regards to the Trent McDuffie trade. Notorious homer, Chiefs homer, Nick Wright says, the Chiefs traded Tyreek Hill in March of 22 for this many picks. The Chiefs just traded Trent McDuffie in 26 for this many picks. Basically got about 85% of the Tyreek Hill return from McDuffie. Won the next 2 Super Bowls. Now, here's the thing about this tweet. Is it the most obnoxious thing Nick Wright's ever posted? Not even close. In fact, Nick Wright is repeatedly, purposefully obnoxious about the Chiefs in a way that is far more clearly absurd than this. But this tweet means nothing. He presented it as if it was facts. He put it up like it was a stat. It quite literally means nothing. It means nothing. There is no underlying source material here to rely on. It is him pulling something out of his ass to lean into his Chiefs fandom. And this frustrates me particularly with someone like Nick Wright, who is one of the few people in sports media who will get on a mic, whether it's on his podcast or on First Things First, and say things that are political, say
Yes,
things
he
that
will.
are social commentary. He
Yes,
will
he
be on the
will.
right side of things a lot of times.
Yes, he will.
Why do we need the clownery? And is the homerism going a little too far? And I genuinely want your opinion.
Now it depends.
Okay.
Because I agree with you. This is a bit. We all know it's
Yeah.
a bit.
Do we all know it's a bit though?
This is
I'm
a
always
bit.
a little bit. No, you and I know that.
Yeah.
But like, have you noticed that?
Do
some
other
don't
people know
always
it's a
seem to
bit?
know?
No. And this is where the lines kind of get blurred, and this is where we're actually kind of running into a slight problem with sports media because, and I'll give credit or blame, however you want to see it, to
Sure.
like something along the lines of Barstool. Like,
Sure.
because the broism of professional sports over the last 15 years is very much, I would say, partially, if not heavily, attributed to them.
Sure.
And how we portray sports in sports media. Now you have the creations of the Pat McAfee's of the world. Now, granted, he was a player on the Colts, so his fandom to the Colts is a little more interesting because it's a little more personable and actually kind of comes off a little more genuine because
Yeah.
of it. But you have other people kind of playing the same bit
Dan
that are just
Orlovsky, the teams that he played for, he leans into.
you
a lot,
kind of lean
yeah.
into that, and I understand that, and you actually gives him a little bit more
But
credibility.
he also
in
has
those.
an MVP vote, so it's
Yes.
actually not cool.
But it makes it a little bit tricky. You know what sports media has become.
Yeah.
You know what the four letters have become. You know what FS1 has always been from the get-go,
Yeah.
a carbon copy of what ESPN is, but a little, honestly, I don't think that much different, just more of the same. They're trying to turn it away from actual sports, and they're trying to be personalities. And it's okay to be a personality, but it's hard to be a personality and a journalist, which Nick Wright kind of tries to toe that line.
Yeah.
I understand your gripe here. My only pushback, because I have the same gripe as you.
Okay.
This bothers me. But also, I see the flip side of the realities of the situation and where sports media is.
Mm-hmm.
How does one even toe the line of being, no, man, I'm just like you. See, I have these ridiculous takes. And you're just trying to put together an entertaining thing because this will be a topic on his show tomorrow, likely. Wilds be like, you said this yesterday. You can't possibly mean this. And now they got 15-minute segment out of Nick jokingly defending this ridiculous kind of
Right.
take. Is it gimmicky? Yeah.
It's not even. I know what you're saying because.
But what else are they to do?
Because
I'm looking at it like, I don't know.
I mean, I spent 7 years.
No,
giving
you're
them
right.
All kinds of topics.
No,
to
you
talk
are
about.
right. Like, you are right.
That like you can lean. They all of them have all of them on that show.
Yes.
Like
They all have fandoms.
Chris Broussard, Kevin Wildes, all the dudes on that show all have their fandoms that they ride for,
Yes.
that they do their little bits around that are really fun, genuinely really fun. You know, when they had the like funeral, the like whatever for Nick when he lost in New Orleans, and like they did
Yes.
a whole thing that was really funny. He leaned into the bit, and
It was a
really
good
cool.
bit.
thought
I agree.
it was so fun, and they just kind of had those things are great because it's like we are not pretending to not be fans. We're gonna give each other shit. We're gonna razz each other, whatever. I'm sure they did something for Kevin Wildes when he lost the
Yeah.
Patriot, right? But there is a difference between that and then using your free time on Twitter and on your podcast and on these other to double, triple, quadruple down on this in a way that I find to be like
Disingenuous?
outside of the necessity of the bit.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, and I can't stress this. I don't have a defense here. I'm honestly trying to formulate one, like in real time, because I agree. No, I agree with you. I see the problem here.
Yeah.
There is an issue here, but I'm also seeing kind of a flip side of which. Listen, he probably sees this, and this is not me even defending Nick or or attacking
I'm not
Nick in
even
any way.
attacking Nick.
No,
I really like
It's
Nick.
like neither.
Like,
Like
that's
I
the
like
thing.
Nick
I
too.
like Nick's work. Like,
So
I
and so do
really
I.
do.
So I'm like kind of looking at this at both sides, going like, this is if I'm Nick, if I wrote this is clearly in jest and I'm playing a
Yeah.
bit. I don't see the problem in it, but I also see the problem
Yeah.
in it. And I don't have the correct
Yes.
answer
Right.
to actually answer this question because I don't know where the comfortable medium is. He's just doing a bit.
I think the comfortable
and
medium is what they do. I think the comfortable medium is, are you able to, at any point,
I have an example.
are
by
you
the way.
ever capable of saying something that is genuinely unbiased or is a hard thing to say about your team?
Okay.
Like, when was the last time you said something that was honest about the Chiefs where you were like, hey, this
No,
is
that's fair.
Right.
That is a fair thing because every time the Chiefs are brought up on a show, it is used for fodder and as
Right.
opposed to real life takes. And while the Chiefs are in a position where
Right.
they should be a topic of conversation, maybe this is where I'm finding the problem.
Right.
And I'm just figuring it out in real time. Maybe the problem I have is the fact that the Chiefs are a real topic of discussion right now of how do they get better. And instead of actually discussing the topic at hand and your real opinion of this actual trade, you're making it fodder for your bit as opposed to what you actually think.
Right.
That I agree with. Can I give you an example of why I have a specific feeling on this, though?
Sure.
A couple of years ago, I had a show on the BetMGM network called The Bet for the Cycle. We had this bit going on where we had this diehard Orioles fan, and I would just always shit on the Orioles because, one, I was shitting on the Orioles, but two, they did have a young core that was coming up that I did recognize was coming up.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I thought they were a year or two away, so I was shitting all over what the core is. What like, oh, because Adley Rushman's coming in. It was a bit.
Yeah.
And then a year later, the guy I had to pay up because they made the playoffs to say if they make it the next 3 years, I'll buy your tickets. And as to pay off the bit, I paid off the bit.
Yeah.
The amount of Orioles, and then I had an Orioles not journalist, but somebody that wrote a whole thing of and got mad at me, and I just responded I'm like, are you fucking serious? This is and then he wrote another thing, and I just said, listen, buddy, you're clearly a fucking idiot. I wish you the very best. And I'm like,
Yeah.
And I looked at my other guy who's friends with him, like, are you gonna calm down your buddy? This is a fucking bit we did for
Right.
fucking 2 years.
Right.
But I also am seeing that issue. This was a video from 2 years prior. And this guy's was like, you said this idiotic thing, and you're supposed to give real sports taste. I'm like, I'm doing a 4-hour radio show,
You
buddy.
literally can't do that much TV or that much radio without doing bits, without having these running jokes. And so that is, I think where you're running into the difference is that, number one, you're not a Baltimore homer.
No.
It would genuinely be a little bit weird to do that the opposite, every year be like, no matter what anyone says, the Baltimore Orioles are one of the best teams in baseball and I will never stop, and to never critique them, right? So you're not a Baltimore homer, you're doing a bit, you kind of develop this thing over time. And also, at some point, there is because you're not a homer, you're going to talk about the Orioles as if they're just a baseball team, right? It's just there is no bias that you're being accused of other than what would your actual beef be with the Baltimore? You don't have one.
No,
You're
I still
from
don't
Los
have
Angeles.
one. I was saying to the guy,
Right.
I don't think your team's going to be good. Now, did I think they were going to make the playoffs in the next
Right.
3 years? I thought there was a chance in the third year. They made it in the second year.
All right, so I have a long-running bit about Mike McCarthy. I actually don't like Mike McCarthy. I think he's one of the more overrated head coaches in the history of the NFL. I
like
really fucking do. I've always had a problem with him, and I use that problem to lean into it. I've made content about it over the years, all over Twitter, all over TikTok, all whatever. If halfway through the season on the Steelers, Mike McCarthy's got them, at 9-1, if I get on the internet and I'm like, and he's been crushing it, he's winning every challenge, the fourth quarter play calling is amazing, everything's going great. And I get on and I'm like, fuck Mike McCarthy. Just to do the bit, I'm now, that's insane. And to
Now
your
you're
point,
a joke,
And
yes.
now my followers who are like, hey, actually, we kind of love when we hear your takes on these. We learn about what you think from these coaches. We want to hear your actual genuine thoughts. And you're getting on here being like,
No,
yeah, this dude blows.
I see what the problem is. It's the same problem I have.
Yeah.
But I have been on the other side of this.
We all have, though, Cody.
But I'm just explaining,
Yeah.
there are pitfalls. I get what he's doing. It's clearly in jest. But I would actually, you know what I'd actually rather see, because I know he is actually a cheat. I would like to know Nick's actual opinion on this actual trade.
What is your actual genuine opinion, because it can't possibly be that you think they're going to win the next 2 Super Bowls.
Yes.
That's not a real sports opinion.
I agree.
That's a joke that someone, like, fans write, or a thing where it's like, or even a serious thing a fan could write. Fans, just somebody on Twitter is allowed to be like, hey, maybe they're going to win the next 2 Super Bowls. You're allowed to think that. But when you get paid a lot of money
Tanya,
to get on television and know when you're supposed to be serious and when you're supposed to not.
Tanya, I agree with you and I disagree with you, because is Twitter the place where he needs to start being serious? This version of Twitter?
He shouldn't even be on Twitter.
And neither should you. Say I'm right. I'm just saying things. I'm asking questions. That's all I'm doing. I'm asking questions.
Guys, I'm just doing my own research.
I'm just doing my research. I'm asking questions. Isn't that what we do? We ask questions?
Yes. Not in this house. We come in full throttle, no questions.
Just ask questions, bro.
I mean, listen, team Nick Wright being serious.
I like
every
Nick
once
Wright
in
a
while.
lot. I've always liked Nick Wright. And I like him personally.
Imagine
Nice
if you
guy.
felt like you genuinely couldn't have a real conversation with me about the Patriots on, like, one of the best teams in the NFL.
I agree.
And I was like, Cody, come on. Obviously, Drake May's MVP. Obviously.
I wish
could not get me to give you a real quote.
But here's the thing. Yeah, when we're off the air, you'd be like, yeah, of course. And you'll have that conversation. But over here, he's got to play character. I'm not saying this is right.
I know.
I'm just not. I'm just saying it's what fucking reality is. I'm lucky that I haven't developed a character, and I'm very much myself. Do I have bits?
He doesn't have a character. That is who Nick is. Like, that's my problem. He's not a character.
Chiefs Nick is a character.
Chiefs Nick.
I didn't say it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I kind of see it, and I also kind of dislike it and get it.
If he's going to be Chiefs Nick, he has to do Chiefs Nick with other things.
But then it
right?
kills the bit. See, I'm seeing this in a lot of different... I'm not saying you're wrong. You're fucking right. I'm also just saying... Is Nick also wrong? I don't think so.
Well, then he just needs to be a 4-hour radio show host in New York where this shit is actually fucking interesting. Because, like, on television and when you have this
I don't
kind of
like
platform,
the bit all that much, if it helps. I'm just saying I understand what the bit is.
It's not a successful bit, because every time I try to talk about him seriously, everybody in my comments is like, Nick
it's not a help.
Tool, he's an idiot, he's a loser, he doesn't know what he's talking about, he's always wrong. And I'm like, he's actually not. And actually, he gets a lot of things right. And now I have to defend him because of his stupid bit is not actually translating to the fans.
But this is more of a problem on sports media, because we don't know who journalists are or entertainers are anymore.
Facts.
They are both the same thing. Actually, no, they're fucking not. There are no journalists. They're all entertainers. Who are we fucking kidding? There is no information on any sports channel.
It is so bad that people think, like, people are like, thank you for, like...
I'm not a journalist.
People call me a reporter. I'm like, I'm not a reporter. I just speak to you in such a, like, genuinely honest way. I break things down so genuinely that people are surprised, and they're like, you're the only person who reports the news to me. And they're not wrong. They're not even wrong. I am one of the few people reporting the news to people.
And I get it, but like I really, really try. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart at all times in sports media. I try. Am I trying to be funny? Am I trying to make a joke? Yeah. And I always try to do that.
Yeah.
I can't help that. I'm a fucking clown. It's just,
You're not a clown.
I also have probably more integrity than I should, and I really want to give good information because I was a pro athlete, and I do want sports. Do I want to be the most entertaining guy in this industry? You bet your ass I do. And I fucking strive for that. But I do that on my own already. I was a theater fucking nerd growing up.
Yeah, I told you, theater kid energy through and through.
But this is...
I'm a cool guy.
But I was also a pro
theater
athlete.
Kid, cool guy, it's the perfect combo.
Yeah, but I was also a pro athlete that made nothing as a pro athlete, and I have a very unique perspective, and I am very protective of athletes, the sports they play, and the growth of all of the above, and understanding where power lies and where power doesn't lie. And I think that's more important. That information needs to be conveyed through. And I think Nick is one of the guys in this industry that does a good job of that.
Well, and that's the thing is, as much as you feel that connection to being a former professional athlete, someone who just like was very much doing it at this level of like, I'm not getting paid to do this, I'm grinding it out, and the protectiveness of the athletes and whatever else. That's how I feel about fucking journalism, Cody. I've done this I went to school. I did this it's all I've ever done. It's all I've ever wanted to do since I was 17 years old. And I've done it. And I've done it with integrity. And I've worked my way up the ranks. And I've grinded. And I have made myself into somebody with integrity, who people trust, who will also can wear my Lamar Jackson shirt
Yeah.
and be like and also have my takes taken seriously. I can come out here and be a Patriots fan who people trust. Will tell them when I'm gonna go into homer mode right now, and you're gonna, or when I'm saying point blank, this is my genuine, honest opinion. And I toe that line so goddamn well, and I'm so fucking good at it that, you know what? I don't have patience for people who can't do it, who don't put the time and effort into that part of the craft, especially
That's fair.
when they have the platform
That's
and
fair.
the following to do it.
I do the same thing, and I do have there's a reason we work together. We share this opinion.
Are on a crusade.
But I cannot as somebody that has unfortunately been in the sports industry. Now, you've been in the sports media industry longer than I have.
Yeah.
You really have. I've been in the sports.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I've been in the sports media industry
I've
for
been
now
in
7
there longer
years.
than a lot of people.
Yeah,
at this
I've
point.
been in it for 7 years,
Yeah.
but I was in the sports industry on the other side
Yeah,
for
we've
11.
both been going at sports
At
for
about
a
the
while.
same time, yeah. But I was also an athlete for those 11 years.
Right.
But the thing is, it's just, as I learned in those situations when I was a pro athlete, now I can't expect everyone to be me as much as I want them to be, and that's not me saying I'm better than anyone. I do like hold myself to a certain standard. And as I've learned specifically, not just in the sports world,
Yeah.
but especially the sports media world,
Yeah.
there are not a lot that
and
will hold themselves to that.
It's good to have individuality in sports media. It's good to have things. There should be diversity of approach, thought, opinion, all that stuff.
I agree.
And sports is its own thing, right? Like that's, as an athlete, you can have all of your own opinions, whatever. There is a looseness to what is, like, we are losing the ability. We're losing the ability to have audience trust, quite honestly.
Well,
And-
I'd go a step further. I mean, we're no better than the actual media at this
Right.
point, because the actual media has taken a cue from sports media.
We're the
Everything is
blueprint.
exactly now. Everything is
Everything
now
is sports
first
media.
take.
Yeah.
Everything is sports
We're
media.
the blueprint. Everything is Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless on politics, entertainment.
Listen, Skip Bayless had a lot of feelings today about Iran or Iran, depending. He wasn't really sure,
He said it both ways.
but he wanted to make sure he said it both
Okay.
ways, and then
Just in
said, I don't know if you heard, absolutely fucking nothing.
I heard nothing about it. The sad part is Skip Bayless was once an incredibly important journalist. Like, he was actually
I'm not going to lie to you. I don't remember this world. I don't remember this
that's
world at
because we
all.
were children.
No. I remember him as a young boy, as the guy that got famous for calling Troy Aikman gay.
No,
That's what I knew him for.
He was doing like serious, like genuinely important reporting as a journalist back in the day.
Okay.
Like,
I knew him as a
so,
borderline shock jock calling Troy Aikman gay.
the black quarterback who played for the Rams. I can't think of his name right now. He was the first black quarterback to ever start a playoff game. He played for the Rams. And back then he was like at the Los Angeles Times and was one of the like main reporters covering the story about how the team was treating him. Like in like it would have been the 80s.
Good report then.
Yeah.
That would be very interesting.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Well, I'm not going to give him any credit, because a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
No, he was great, and that's the thing is like eventually people are great and they get the success and they lean into being total dorks. But what I am going to say is, now that I know about this Baltimore Orioles thing, we're 100% doing this bit.
Which bit?
Just hating on the Orioles. I'm a Red Sox fan. Let's do it.
I could
I'm
give
in.
it. No, actually, you're not
I'm
going to
in.
like. You're not going to like my actual take on the Orioles this year.
I know. Chris already told me.
You know.
I know. Well, I hate the Red Sox. I'm a Red Sox fan and I hate them.
Well,
right?
that's
So it's
only
good.
because you're not rooting hard enough for Liverpool. Liverpool does better.
We're
than
Everton fans. They're literal
Do you want your
rivals.
team to spend money? You better hope Liverpool wins.
I don't, and I won't.
That's the rules. I'm sorry.
Isn't that-
blame your ownership.
Isn't that insane that Chris made me a Everton fan?
That's pretty dog shit.
Liverpool's fucking rivals.
Especially knowing full well this is a fucking Manchester U fucking house.
Ew.
Not ill. You want to go to O'Brien's and see Willie?
What kind of basic bitch are you?
Basic bitch. Do
That
you
is
see the
basic.
opening of our video? The
Man-
opening of our video is at O'Brien's, which is basically the home of Man U.
Manchester United is the most basic bitch American
Roy
fandom.
Keane forever. I'm not going to listen to this shit.
I do love Roy Keane though.
Thank you. We're on the same page. All right, we're back
Because
to
that was Galaxy.
We're
right?
back, baby. Okay.
Oh, we got a good pop culture corner today.
We do, because this is actually a very important thing, because I almost Mocha, over there, Moke, who's running the ones and twos today, as he does every one of these shows.
We're gonna introduce you to Mocha.
I kind of want to plug your mic in because you're going to get mad during this conversation. Pop culture corner. It's very important that we get into this because it is getting to award season, and I actually think this award season is very unique compared to other award seasons. And normally, I used to really care about them, and I've fallen out of care of them. I care about this award season, shockingly.
Yeah.
Do. But what's funny is the reasons why I do.
There's like one reason, right? So basically.
No, it's strange. Because I'm a cinema fan. I went, I made
We
films.
talked about this.
I love movies.
Theater kid.
I own to this day thousands of DVDs. I just know more about cinema than I should.
Yeah.
I have friends in the industry. I've gotten the opportunity to work in the industry.
Yeah.
I've been very lucky. And it's strange because award season comes around, and that you would always find me at the movie theaters. You would find me seeing every single award season
Sure.
theater.
There's been so many years where it's been similar. For
amazing.
Me, especially living in LA.
Oh my God!
It is the most LA thing, and it like, for anybody who doesn't live here, that is like one thing, especially pre-pandemic, that used to be so real. Was that like the smaller movie theaters, the Landmark, the
Landmark, which is gone now, by the way. It was my favorite theater in LA.
Mine too.
I was there all the time. The
we
restaurant
were probably
downstairs.
in movies
probably
and we didn't
a
even
shit
know
ton.
because like it was the best, and just the culture. I remember telling Chris like living in LA, the one thing that's different for me is like the way people want to go to the movies like, pre-pandemic, and it's been different since it's coming back. But like just to add on to your thing, that actually is the most stereotypical LA thing that is real, which is that like seeing the movies in this city was like different.
It was, and the reason why I think this pop culture corner is interesting is because now what it's going to turn into is this. I'm just going to start with this real quick before we get to the actual thing.
Yeah.
I am annoyed because I'm very excited for the Oscars because Conan O'Brien's hosting, and I'm an
Me too.
enormous Conan
Yeah.
O'Brien fan. Like, only time I've been starstruck in my life was Conan
So
O'Brien.
you're Conan and you're the Scottish guy.
Oh, Craig Ferguson, the two greatest late night show hosts we've
Those
ever
are your
had.
guys. Yeah,
ever,
that's
ever.
same
But
as
Conan
us,
to me is what comedy is,
Yeah.
and he has a very
By the
specific.
way, Chris Fleming. Have you watched the new special?
Yes.
Okay, I haven't seen it yet. Is it as good as I will?
It's
Okay,
good.
great. Massachusetts guy, by the way.
So, Conan's hosting the Oscars. Can't wait. Another reason why I'm excited for the Oscars is because this award season has taken an interesting turn. But it does overline an interesting thing. How many? Have you seen all the movies that are nominated for Best Picture?
Not even close.
I went through the list. I've seen one, and it's
It's
the one I
Sinners.
hope wins. But it's only because it's the only one I've ever seen,
It's the one that everyone saw.
and it's Sinners. Sinners is incredible. Well, if you saw the Actors Awards last week, Michael B. Jordan wins Best Actor, which, by the way, based on the performance I saw, he deserved. That being said, I have not seen the other performances. But the way the narrative is currently shifted away from, by the way, Sinners was one of the best movies of the year, unquestionably. The money speaks for itself. There
One
have
of
been
the
more.
biggest movies,
There's
yeah.
more essays written about Sinners than any movie this year. Like, this movie was
Phenomenon.
a borderline phenomenon
Yeah.
in a world where we don't have phenomenons in cinemas right now,
No.
especially that are not original IPs. Ryan Coogler is a director that I've said for years doesn't miss. Now, the reason why I knew Michael B. Jordan was one of the best actors currently around, there's a movie that him and Ryan Coogler did together, and it might have been Ryan's first movie or
Fruitvale
first major.
Station.
Fruitville Station is a movie that I remember seeing in theaters, and there was one scene in that movie that has stuck with me in a way, and it was a shot of Michael B. Jordan when he was in jail, sitting with his mom. And his mom and him are talking, and somebody's like yelling at Michael B. Jordan, and Michael B. Jordan starts yelling at him, trying to act tough, and his mom kind of yells at him, and he sits back down, and he looks like going in between being furious and wanting to be tough to this guy and listening to his mom. And this moment was like 10 seconds of eye movement from Michael B. Jordan where I just said, this might be the best young actor I've seen in like 20 years.
Yeah.
Like this is acting for a camera that I haven't seen. And
Yeah.
Ryan Coogler might be one of the best directors, knowing to keep the camera right here because he knows what he has. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
And these two have done collaborations for years now.
Yeah, they are. I mean, we're talking about Creed.
Creed,
We're talking about
Black
obviously
Panther.
and now
And now, of course, Sinners. Michael B. Jordan's performance that I didn't even realize how good he was in Sinners. I did realize, but like I didn't like there were the face ticks that it gave each twin brother is just such an astonishing performance. It gave me so much more appreciation for one of the particular performances than to the other.
Yeah.
He wins Best Actor at the Actors Awards, the Screen Actors Guild Awards, which of course SAG-AFTRA, and it was like a real cool moment of celebration. Like,
it was beautiful.
You saw how excited everyone was, because keep in mind, Michael B. Jordan's been an actor since he was like 12. Like he's been
I mean, I watched him when he
The
was
Wire.
on Friday Night Lights.
Before that, The Wire.
Yep, The Wire. Like he's been around forever, and he is, when people obviously grow up to become actors as adults that were kids, like obviously they're kind of beloved in a very specific way. But when they announced that he'd won, obviously he gets the huge, like, incredible hug from Delroy Lindo, but specifically Ethan Hawke and Jesse Plemons, both nominated with him, did this like genuine like cheer. Ethan Hawke was like, and Jesse Plemons, who he was in Friday Night Lights with, both of them were so ecstatic. Ethan Hawke went up and gave him a hug. Fellow child actor turned into an adult. Wasn't Ethan Hawke?
Yeah, he was a young actor. Yeah.
So
Dead Poets Society.
they are like, the momentum is clearly in his direction. This is the bigger of all the nominated movies.
No,
Sinners
it's
is
the biggest movie,
it's the
unquestionably.
biggest
Like
movie,
again,
like, not even a question.
like Frankenstein was a bigger movie, but it's also got that Netflix. Like I'm still
a bigger movie. It didn't make
No, it was a big movie in that it was a big glitzy movie, but it didn't make any money.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm also kind of like looking at that Netflix model. I don't understand what that is.
I don't know why
moment.
Guillermo would do that.
I'm confused by it. Now, this movie is accessible to me. I should see it. I should see
Do you
all
like
these movies.
Del Toro, by the way?
I love Del
Yeah.
Toro's movies.
Yeah.
But it's just, man, the way the narrative is shifted has pissed me off in a way that I can't really. So let's throw up the headline that happens over here for Michael B. Jordan, because Michael B. Jordan, it's for pop culture. Yeah, you see this. Michael B. Jordan is coming for Timmy Chalamet's Oscar. The fuck?
I'm sorry, Michael B. Jordan
Timothy
is coming for
Chalamet's Oscar?
Timothy Chalamet's Oscar.
The ping pong fucking movie?
You're talking about Uncut Gems Ping Pong 2.0?
Now, have I seen this movie? No, because I fucking hate the Safdies and all of their work.
I am so fucking frustrated with the idea that they framed this as, oh, we had already given this Oscar to Timothy Chalamet.
This was Timmy's.
Obviously, it
The
was Timmy's to lose.
ping pong movie? He got good at ping pong and you want to give him a fucking trophy?
That no one fucking talks about, watches, cares about, by the way. No one has talked about Marty Supreme.
I haven't met
one
anyone that's
single
seen it.
fucking Time.
I haven't seen it.
No one cares. Like, this is not Dune, bitches.
It's a fucking ping pong movie.
And for them, and okay, so do we have the other graphic? Because this is the part of it that really pissed me off.
Let's go to it.
Okay, so it jumps 27% after he won the SAG Award. Now, the reason that it jumped 27% after he won the SAG Award is because, by and large, the actor who wins that award wins the Oscar.
Yes.
Okay? So, if that's the case, if this is sort of the way that we generally predict who's the favorite to win the Oscar,
Yes.
how was it Timothy Chalamet's before the SAG Award? Cody, explain that to me.
Listen, by the way, this is not a knock on Timothy Chalamet.
No, it's his fault specifically. No, of course not.
I like. By the way, that I'm not a Timothy Chalamet homer. I don't like a lot of
by
his
the way,
work, and some of his work I really
of
like.
the last 20 SAG.
Yeah.
18 of the last 20.
But for the record, Timothy Chalamet, who I think is an actor who's gotten immensely better, I should say.
I agree.
Because here's the thing: you ever see the first Dune?
Yeah, of course.
I don't love him in that.
I don't hate him in it, but I don't think he was like.
I thought he
incredible,
was
but, yeah.
as interesting as a chair.
Oh, a chair.
In
Well,
in
Dune
part
itself
two,
is a little odd,
but
yeah.
part two, I thought his performance
I
was
do think
actually
that might be the script, but yeah.
quite damn good.
That's right.
Maybe you might have a point, but I thought like his performance was
Yeah.
just better. I thought he grew
Timmy
so much as
is
an actor.
Timmy
He's a good
is
actor.
fine.
He's a good actor.
He's a good actor, and because he became sort of a darling from playing the Bob Dylan thing, which I fucking hate when people become.
I thought it was pretty good as Bob Dylan.
But I hate when people become awards darlings for playing in a person in a biopic.
You know what?
It
That's
happens
fair.
all the time.
We've seen it many times.
And it's always, by the way, it's always men. The men always get to be the biopic darling. It's never the
wrong.
fucking women.
You're not wrong.
And I'm tired of it
How did
start
that
to
happen?
finish. Oh, how did that? What do you think? But like on the reality is
You're fucking right.
you don't. Sometimes you watch a movie and you're like, it's almost impossible that
God damn
someone
it.
what.
I just realized we're gonna get a fucking Sydney Sweeney fucking Dolly Parton movie.
Nah, they're not stupid enough.
You'll see.
They're not
Just
stupid
fucking
enough.
wait. Just fucking wait. I just realized it's gonna
No,
happen.
you know who has to play Dolly Parton?
Who?
The girl from Ozark.
Listen, I want this clipped right now, and I want this on the record when this gets announced in fucking 4 years. I just want the Mocha, you got this, right? I want this clipped right now.
Mocha's gonna
When
be like,
this fucking gets announced in 4 years, fucking, you're welcome. Put it on Kalshi. You can put anything on Kalshi, right?
oh yeah,
Whatever
Polly
the fuck
Margaret,
that is.
whatever, Yeah. No, for sure.
Oh my God, I just nailed that shit. I'm not gonna see this movie, by the way.
It's not happening.
Just fucking wait.
It's not happening.
Just fucking wait. I'm gonna
Jeez,
fucking nail this shit.
You are way too impressed. You have had way better takes than this. I can't believe this is the one that you think.
No, you don't understand. This is not a take that I think should happen.
No, but what I'm saying is like, I know you think it just is going to happen. I'm not like, I know you're
I
not
do.
advocating for it. I'm saying I think you've had far more like, I don't
wait for
know, accurate sounding takes
wait
in
for
your
it.
life. Okay, fair enough. When it comes to
Nailed that
Michael
shit.
B. Jordan, I think that one of these, sometimes we just have, like you see a performance and you know it's the best performance you've seen that year. That's it. The guy played twins in 2 different lives, 2 different relationships.
Phenomenal work.
Whatever. It was incredible.
It was a
It
great
was beautiful. The way that movie was made, start to finish, was perfect. The Safdie brothers have never made a movie on the level of Sinners ever, and there's no fucking chance Marty Supreme. comes
Christopher
anywhere close to
Nolan,
it.
why do you love these guys?
Yeah. Also,
you
Christopher Nolan,
stop?
can you start making movies that don't feature Ben Affleck as Odysseus with a Boston accent?
It's
by
Matt
any
Damon.
chance? Oh yeah, sorry, Matt Damon.
Matt
If it-
Damon's great.
See, I would love for Ben Affleck to be Odysseus.
What do you have against Matt? Matt's a good actor.
Not
A
as good
very
as Ben.
Ben's also a good actor.
Not yeah. Well, my you know what my problem with Matt is.
What's your problem with Matt?
Unless it's a funny movie, which he is very good at, like at that crossover comedy thing. I think that's his perfect role. I think every role he's
Yeah,
had.
we had this conversation off screen.
I'm gonna say it
did
on
you
the mic.
did you do what I asked you to do?
No, I haven't. It's been 2 days.
Not enough time. That was plenty of time. Plenty of time. Your
hold on,
issue.
hold
Go
on.
ahead. Go ahead. Tell the
If there-
people.
if
Tell the
there-
people your wrong opinion about Matt.
If there's comedy involved, this doesn't apply. Like I love Ocean's 11. Anytime he gets to be kind of funny and like even if it's whatever, I think he's really good at that. His most dramatic roles, any truly dramatic role, would be better with Ethan Hawke. And that is my take. And unfortunately,
I agree with you on this.
Okay.
Ethan Hawke would have been a very good Will Hunter.
he would have been.
He would have been a
good.
very, very good Will Hunter.
I know.
That being said, I disagree with you. And my point that I'm going to make to you is this. I think you should go, and if you haven't watched The Rip, I'm not saying this because my friend Joe Carnahan directed this. I'm saying Matt gives a very specific performance in
Okay.
this movie. I want you to go and watch The Rip. It is the most underplayed performance Matt has ever given.
I listen, Boston Girl. I'm not anti-Matt.
No. I'm telling you, to me,
Yeah.
and he's on screen with
He's
Ben.
just no Mark
and
Wahlberg.
by the
I'm just
way,
kidding, I'm just kidding.
holy
I'm just kidding.
fuck,
I'm kidding.
he's on screen with Ben, and Ben is great in this movie,
Yeah.
by the way, and a lot of charisma, but a little different energy.
Sure.
When they're on screen together, I can't take my eyes off Matt and his performance. I really want you to watch this movie and just watch it. I just want you to watch Matt's
All right.
performance.
I will watch Matt's performance for you. I will do it. And I will give you
Thank
my
you.
honest review. Now, was he not in another Netflix movie that I saw? I definitely saw it like from like 1 or 2 years ago, Matt Damon, where it was like also
Was it?
kind of a comedy thing. It was funny. It was good. Was it Matt Damon?
I don't know.
This is the problem. Half the time, I can't remember if it was Matt Damon or some other guy.
Jesus, come on! I know Matt Damon
I
shit.
know.
Unless you're talking about that Mike Judge movie, like where he became small as hell. and-
No, not that.
Yeah, whatever. I forgot
Small
the-
as hell.
Was it called Small as Hell? Nailed it.
Listen, moral of the story is I wrote on Threads and I stand by this. If Michael B. Jordan doesn't win the Oscar for Best Actor,
right.
I'm going to pack myself up, walk directly into the woods and live there and write a unsanctioned sequel to Walden like Henry David Thoreau.
Can you do me a favor and not do that? Because
I'm-
we do have 2 shows a week that we're trying to do. So,
I will call it.
and I don't trust your Wi-Fi.
That's valid.
Thank you. Hey, it's time for reply, guys, before we shut this bad boy down.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm not going to lie to you. I have no idea what reply,
Yeah.
guys, issue is today. So, Tanya, take it away.
All right. I have a pet peeve, and I'm putting this like I think I'm just like kind of using this to get it on camera so that people stop doing this to me. To be
Okay.
quite honest, I have a pet peeve from people in my replies and DMs, and I'm not bringing up a specific example because I don't want to throw anyone under the bus because it's not a mean thing. It's not something. It's actually people thinking they're being nice and pissing me off.
Okay.
So it's not their fault.
Fascinating.
Right? Right? So I will respond to somebody, or I'll be beefing with somebody, or I will say something specific in a video or whatever else, something that's bothering me.
Of course.
And I get this refrain, and you'll have to tell me if you get this, because if you don't, it's very interesting. I get this thing over and over again. Don't waste your time on trolls and losers. They're not worth your time. They're not worth your breath. Why do you bother? Why do you even let them get to you? I get this nearly every single time I fuck with a troll, or I call someone out, or I repost something and burn somebody. Because I'm famous for this on Threads. I go viral frequently on Threads for my burns.
I love it.
Good at it.
Yeah.
I recently told an old man he looked embalmed, and that one was beautiful.
Love that.
I think it's got 42,000 likes. People are loving embalmed.
Good stuff.
And so this is something that happens all the time.
Yes.
And I've repeatedly told people, I got time. Like, do you understand that it takes me a maximum of like 12 seconds to cook up whatever fucking response I've given to some troll? I'm allowed to respond to people who are talking shit to me. Sometimes I know that they're trolls and losers, and I do it because I fucking want to.
Oh, I do it because
I
we are trolls
don't,
and losers.
right? Like, I don't need, this is not, I think people like it. At first I was like, okay, these people mean well. But after a while, it honestly just feels condescending and like almost like out of pocket. Like, listen, I'm the one here with all the fucking followers.
Yeah.
I'm the one here everybody's engaging with.
Yes.
I decide who I fucking respond to. And if I decide someone's worth my time to respond to or worth my breath, it's because I want to fucking do it. I just do not need people in my comments being like, don't even bother, it's not worth your time. I deal with sexism and misogyny every single day of my life. I deal with mansplaining every single day of my life. And I deal with people coming in and being racist to me while I'm defending people against racism. People
Yes. Crazy, isn't it?
every single day. So if I know what I decide to respond to is worth my time because I'm the one experiencing it, not you. You are a random person with 25 followers who follows me because you like my content. You can decide who you want to respond to whenever you want. But don't tell me that sexism and misogyny isn't worth responding to because they're just trolls and losers. Because you know what those trolls and losers are? People in real life that do that shit to other people. This is not... Everybody acts like the internet is not not real. And to some extent, some of it's not, but some of it really is. And I experienced this shit. Don't tell me what my experiences are in the world by being like, oh, come on, they're not even worth your time. I am the one dealing with this every single day. Okay? I'm glad I got that off my fucking chest. I love you guys. I really appreciate you. Stop telling me who to fucking respond to and when and why. Thank you.
I'm so glad that you're taped. You don't know why?
Why?
I quote the film Good Will Hunting. Nah. I picked the wrench. Why? Because fuck him, that's why. That's
Exactly.
why I respond to those dipshits on Twitter. Because fuck them. That's
Fuck
why.
them.
And this has been The Regulars. And I'm sorry we didn't get to you, Kurt Schilling. Your bloody sock was bullshit. Fuck you, Kurt Schilling.